So a couple of weeks ago, I decided to do a 90-day experiment on myself to focus on fitness and content. And I really want to see what will happen if I really follow through some of the non-negotiables that I've listed specifically for myself so that I could focus on those two things in my life and just see, would it really change anything? And that is why I decided to do that experiment. So instead of calling it a challenge, because I thought I would enter it with an all or nothing mindset if I do call it a challenge, I've decided to call it an experiment. And let me just tell you, it made no difference, because whatever it is that I put upon myself, I would always see it as a challenge even though I call it an experiment. And because of that, I am quite embarrassed to admit that I did not follow through those non-negotiables that I listed out. And that made me realize that, you know what? Even though I've streamlined those non-negotiables, I really need to streamline it again, because when I really look at the bigger picture, it is so much more easier when you just make things simple for you to follow through. Because I feel like I just overcomplicate things because I'm just feeling a little bit ambitious. So I thought for fitness, now I'm going to be doing 8 to 10k steps daily. Doesn't matter whether I run or walk, as long as I hit those steps daily. And the second one is to go to the gym 4 times a week instead of 3. Because I find that I can manage 4 times a week now instead of just 3, and also I'm following a program, so it just makes it so much more easier, which, by the way, I'm going to get into that later on in this video. And the last one for my fitness is to basically consume the amount of protein that I'm supposed to consume, which I'll put the number here, and not eat so fucking much. I swear, you can ask me to exercise every single day, but when it comes to nutrition, I definitely have a really bad habit that I find it really hard to stop. Not to stop, but I just find it overall really hard, to be completely honest with you. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it, but it is what it is, and I don't like to self-diagnose myself unless someone who is a professional and is clinically diagnosing me. But I do believe that I do kind of binge eat sometimes, so I have an eating problem, okay? I would tell my boyfriend before I go to sleep, I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to have my coffee the next day, or to eat my breakfast. I'm thinking of what to eat for breakfast. Who does that, And apparently it's not exactly normal to think about what to eat the next day. I don't know. I remember I saw this clip on Oprah where she did talk about something like, oh, I didn't know that it's not normal to think about food all the time. And I think about food all the time. Anyways, I'm working on it, and also there'll be another video where I do talk about my nutrition, so that'll be a whole nother video. Okay, so those are my 3 non-negotiables for my fitness, which is obviously really simple, really easy, and sometimes the basic things are the most important things, because once you get the fundamentals right and you do it consistently, even though it seems boring, it will definitely lead to a greater outcome. So that is what I'm hoping for, which I know it will give me a good outcome. I just need to stick to it and remain consistent. That's a super long intro, I guess, to this, but I was thinking that we would do a series where I would just show you what are my raw thoughts on doing the workouts that I'm doing right now. And before you ask, the workout program that I use is from the Evolve app, not sponsored, by the way. I wish they would sponsor me, because genuinely, whenever someone asks me oh, what type of workout programs do you do? Do you do your own or whatever? I'm like, no, I don't. You just download the Evolve app, and they have so many programs that you can choose from based on your goals. And for me, I chose the Gain program by Mia just because, I like her workout style. It's very bodybuilding kind of style, and I like that all of her workouts are basically structured within an hour, so you can go in and out of the gym. You can do the workouts for 1 hour and you're done, and you can get out of the gym, because I used to spend so much time in the gym, at least 1 hour and a half or 2 hours, and I still do that sometimes, maybe on the weekends when I just want to take my own sweet time and dilly-dally around. And also sometimes I do take videos as well. Other than that, I do want to have a workout that is structured properly and is also effective and gets the things done. So that's why I chose Mia's workout program called Gain. I'm just gonna basically take you guys through each workout that I do, just so that, I don't know, maybe you will find this helpful, especially if you are on a fitness journey or the same journey as me, because for me, I've lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, and gained back the weight again, which is yeah, I've shared my workout split before, but this was like a couple of years ago, and that was also using the Evolve You app, except that it is Chrissy Chalice program. So today I'm going to take you through my glutes and hamstring session, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes when I film workout videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, I look like that. Like, I feel a certain way when I'm doing the workout, but when I look back at the videos, I'm like, whoa, that's not what I envisioned in my head when I was doing the workout. The first workout that I did is the barbell RDL. I love RDLs. It is a lengthening workout, so it's a compound workout as well, so it does take up a lot of your energy, but I truly love this exercise because I can really feel it in my glutes. So I always start with warming up, and when I warm up, I use the barbell. The barbell itself is 20 kilos, so I'll do like at least 12 reps of it. So after doing that, then I will start warming up with weights. So I usually do like 40 kilos and then 50 kilos, and my working weight itself, where I definitely count it as a set, is 60 kilos because that's the most amount of weight that I can handle when doing RDLs. Whenever I do the RDLs, my cue is to basically brace my core and hinge. And when I hinge my hips back, I'm imagining that I'm closing a door behind me using my butt and keeping my back straight as well, and really, have that mind muscle connection and focus on my glutes, and I can feel my hamstrings being stretched as well. So I hope that makes sense. And honestly, I always refer the RDL as like a standing hip thrust because the movement is the same except that you're standing up. After that, I will move on to doing hip thrust. So you can use hip thrust on a barbell, on a Smith machine, or use a dumbbell, but for me, I do have the hip thrust machine at the gym, and the resistance on the machine itself is 8.1 kilos, if I'm not wrong. So let's say I put 10 kilo plates on each side, the whole weight that I'm thrusting is 48.1 kilos. So again, if it's like 60 kilos, like 20 kilo plates on each side, it's going to be like 68.1, so on and so forth. So for my working weight on hip thrust for this machine is 88.1 kilos. I'm pretty sure I can go up the weight later on, but because I've been neglecting my hip thrust, I do want to get back into the movement without injuring myself. One thing about me is that I will never compromise my form over anything, because I've seen way too many videos of people getting injured, especially their lower back. Maybe the weight is a little bit too much and then their form is off, and that's when you are prone to get injuries, and it is not fun to get an injury, and I don't want to manifest that for myself. So I'm trying to, avoid that as much as I can. So that is why I always say prioritize your form. So that's what I did for my hip thrust. And, when I'm doing this movement, I can really feel the squeeze in my glutes, like it's working. So for me, that's more than enough. So I don't have to put more weight onto it. I'm pretty sure I will after, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, just to progress. But for now, like this weight, 88.1 kilos, to do hip thrust like at least 12 reps, it's just nice for me. So the next workout after the hip thrust is a sumo squat. So you can do this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, and at that point of time, I think there was just a lot of people at the dumbbell section, so I decided to go to the kettlebell section, which is always empty. So I use a 24 kilo kettlebells to do sumo squats, and I love doing this because it really fires up my ass in a good way. And when I do this, I always try to do it slow to really have that mind-muscle connection. And if you have no idea what mind-muscle connection is, it's basically while you're doing the workout, you think about the muscle that you want to grow. So for me, I'm thinking about my glutes. As I'm doing the movement, it's like my mind is connected to that muscle, and generally, I don't know what's the science behind it, you can really feel the muscle working and quote unquote growing. Always do it slow, like don't rush through your workouts. Honestly, I was like gassed out after those 3 workouts, but we need to move on. So the next one is the cable step up. This is my favorite isolation movement. Alternatively, you can do Bulgarian split squats. Not a fan, but I still do it anyway because I know it helps to grow, helps to grow your ass. So yeah, I like to do the cable step ups because it is one of those exercises where you can really feel your glutes like fired up in a really good way. Yet again, I remember doing it for the first time using the cables instead of using a dumbbell. I was shaking and it was like a good kind of shake, like that yes, this shit works when I shake. So yeah, I like to do the cable step ups. This is only 2 sets, so each side you do between 10 to 12 reps. One struggle that I have with this is on my left side. So the movement, basically you have to step up, and then when you go down you hinge your hips. My left side requires a lot of mobility work, because when I don't warm up as much on my left side, it's going to be pretty hard to hinge all the way back down. So that's something that I definitely have to work on. And I think when you see in the video, it looks like I'm using my non-working leg to help me step up, when actually I'm not, because the non-working leg, which is the one that is tapping your feet, that's tapping on the ground, it's supposed to just be like something to support you, but you're not supposed to put your weight onto that back foot. And for me, sometimes it looks like I am putting weight on my back foot, but maybe I am, I don't know. I definitely have to work on it, but I do really like the cable step up movement because it really fires up your peach and it grows it, so that's a good thing. Last workout is actually the leg extension curl, or like leg curl, which is using the machine. However, in this session, there was someone using it and she was using it for a very long time, and I was like, okay, I really need to get a move on. I can't wait. So I decided to go for the alternative. So the good thing about the app is that if you're supposed to use a certain equipment or a machine but it's taken, they provide alternative exercises that you can do, so you don't waste so much time. I actually did the hamstring ball curls, and I've never done this before, so this was actually my first time doing it, and I felt so dumb. I felt silly because I've never done it before, and it looks simple like on the video, like the demonstration, but when I actually do it, I'm like, oh my god, like, am I really like that unstable or like that unfit? Like, I was shaking while trying to do it. I was trying to hold below my hips. I was like, okay, am I really that heavy that I cannot lift my lower body up like this? So yeah, it was interesting. I even removed my shoes thinking that it would get better. And the good thing about taking videos when you're working out in the gym is so that you can always look back to refer to it and see whether you had the form right. Because when you're doing your workout, sometimes you can't keep on looking in the mirror, or like some places there's no mirrors at all. So I do recommend taking videos while you're working out, not because of like vanity, but to see whether your form is right. And when I look back at the videos, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done it another way. So I was a little bit frustrated, but as stupid as I looked like, I actually could feel my hamstrings working, and it was actually pretty solid the next day. So I know that it was working. I just needed to work on my form, but it's fine, because the next time I'm doing this workout again, I'll probably go to the machine. Hopefully no one is on it. It is a good solid workout, and honestly, as someone who used to be in the gym consistently and like is like pretty confident with herself, and now, to be honest with you, I don't feel that great when I wear gym clothes. Like, I would look at myself and I'd be like, oh, I would compare my old self, to myself now, which it's fine to acknowledge that, but at the same time, we gotta move on from it, okay? So if you are fixated on the way that you used to look before, like if you think, oh my gosh, I used to look so shredded before, I used to look, I was slim or whatever, like, we don't care, because what matters now is now, the present, basically. And we just have to move forward and move through, and things will eventually get better when you stick to a routine and you're consistent with it. That is something that I'm constantly always reminding myself. Just to put a disclaimer before anyone comes at me, I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this. I'm not a certified personal trainer. I'm not a professional or anything. I'm simply just a normal human being, just trying to get fit and just documenting the journey, because maybe it would help someone along the way who's watching this video. But I do have to say that our human bodies are very resilient. You can put it through so much shit and it will still support you. And that's something that I'm truly grateful for my body, because there are so many times where I don't treat it right, the way that I nourish it, the way that, I don't provide movement for it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like an age thing, but as I've gotten older, I really prioritize my health, and also I just want to age gracefully. I don't want to like have osteoporosis when I'm old. It's really scary, and yeah, I just want to be fit and live up to hopefully 100 years old, maybe 90. Enough of rambling. I really hope you enjoyed this mini series, and this is just an update on my 90-day experiment. I will probably extend the 90-day experiment to like a whole year, to be completely honest with you. So this whole 90-day experiment will probably be called 365 days of experiment, 365 experiment, whatever. Okay, I'm rambling yet again, but I genuinely hope that you find this helpful and useful. And let's chat in the comments. Are you on your fitness journey? I just would love to know where you're at, health, fitness wise, just so that we can all connect with each other. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.